Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have a lot to talk about. Before we go to the front, we have something that happened in Russia that we need to talk about that I could not come up with a good graphic for. The leader of the Wagner group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has been killed in an accident north of Moscow when an air defense missile shot down the plane he was in. This was clearly not an accident because just 2 months ago, Prigozhin launched a mutiny and established control over the cities of Rostov-on-Don and Voronezh. He stopped about 200 kilometers south of Moscow though and accepted a settlement, and now I bet he's probably wishing that he didn't do that. The internet has been cut in parts of Russia and Belarus that have high concentration of Wagner fighters. This is likely to stop them from using the internet to make a coherent response right now. And there's extra security protocols being taken in Rostov-on-Don right now to try to stop any sort of second Wagner uprising. I think that's definitely a possibility. If a charismatic leader is able to unite the Wagner group under that and taking power away from Putin, Russia chose the best time for this. It's about when it turns night in there, which is going to stop them from making a good coherent response until the next day, which gives them more time to prepare. Many Wagner Telegram channels have been saying that they are going to plan a revolution, but a lot of these people are just followers from the group and not actually people who are inside of the mercenary group. Prigozhin's strategy with taking over Rostov last time was to be able to cut all supplies into Ukraine if necessary, because Rostov handles the transfer of equipment to Crimea, to Donetsk, to Luhansk, to pretty much everywhere, and it's going to take a while in order to shift away from the reliance on this city. But if Wagner is able to capture it this time, they'll be able to blockade all equipment going into Ukraine, which is effectively holding the entire Russian army hostage. And if they try to pull troops off to take back Rostov, that just gives Ukraine an opportunity to get a breakthrough. There's only around 5,000 Wagner mercenaries left at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of resistance they can put up. I think this may actually, I didn't think I'd be relating to Africa in this video, but without the Wagner group providing security to the junta in Niger and Mali, that may result in the economic union of West African states going through with their plan to invade the area. I really need to make a longer video about this. I just can't write the script for it right now. I think it's Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger that have all had coups, replacing their pro-French government with a pro-Russian one. And Niger was kind of the final straw for the rest of West Africa, and they currently have a plan, but they haven't released the date of when they're going to invade the capital. This has already gotten pushed back a couple times, which seems to be out of fear of sparking a further conflict between Russia and France and a proxy war in Africa. Russia's influence in Syria may also start to decline without the Wagner group as well. Alright, we've gone all over the globe except for Ukraine. Let's get into the big news here. The settlement of Robotyne has finally been officially liberated. There's been about a 2-month fight for this settlement, and the Ukrainian flag has finally been raised over it. Out of all the settlements that are on the contact line right now, this one is by far the most important. There's a small group of 4 or 5 settlements around this area, and then the highway goes straight down to Tokmak, which is Russia's vital supply hub in this area. Taking Robotyne and the 3 settlements behind it are the way to get to Tokmak. And having control of Robotyne gives them high ground positions over this blue circle, which are lowlands positions by Svatove, which means that they'll be able to roll into this area and destroy the Russian units that try to defend it. This is important because the main Russian line of defense goes through here, which could allow for that to be breached, and that would be massive. Overall, there's another small, lower elevation trench south of Kopani, but the elevation stays constant going into Novopokrovka, Ilchenkove, and Solodka Balka. I think we may see something similar to Ukraine pushing down to this river in Novopokrovka, and then funneling into this trench right here south of Kopani. This would be a really big flanking maneuver, and it may cause this whole area right here to have to retreat. Then that just increases the amount of Ukrainian contact with the defense line, which is only going to make things easier. And if they're able to push through there and onto this ridge, this gives them high ground over Solodka Balka as well. So you can see how the dominoes of one settlement falling can really turn into something even bigger. And that's all I got for this video. We're going to have to see what Wagner does. That's going to be the main thing that affects what's going to happen in the next week. Because if a rebellion happens, Russia may have to pull out some of their troops from Ukraine. And that's all I've got. I'll see you guys later.